We are live. All right, how's everyone doing?
Hey, everybody.
So, are y'all ready to talk about some funny, but not at all surprising politics and things going on in the world? Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Oh boy, the the
The
weeks
level.
just keep on coming with the hitters. Is
Oh,
with every day there's something new to talk about.
generally is, especially like it seems that we've reached the point. Like the UK likes to sit there and point at us and make jokes about Trump and this, that, and the other, and then immediately turn around and have become the butt of the joke of the world because they're literally throwing milkshakes at people over trying to debate them. Yes, that's how you win people over to your side, by milkshakes.
I believe I already made my stance pretty clear about milkshaking on Twitter already before.
Oh yes, but see, I want to actually talk about this because you know it's one of those. It's nuanced. Let's just be honest. It's a nuanced situation. You have,
Oh no, nuance.
oh, I know, milkshake lives matter. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They are to be drank, not thrown at people. But no, no, yes, nuance. The word that the far left is terrified of because it's uh, Twitter ruined milkshakes for you. Ain't that the truth? But no, like let's start with the whole Burger King McDonald's bit. McDonald's, son, we're not gonna sell milkshakes. Burger King, we're selling milkshakes all weekend. Have fun. Just saying.
Just saying, we're selling milkshakes all weekend. Come get some milkshakes for totally wholesome reasons.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And it's one of those. How do I explain it? This when you're trying to get people to come to your side, and all you can do is throw milkshakes at them. And Tim Pool said it best when he was like, "It's the next." And he showed the video of Tommy Robinson, like the up team climb of him getting milkshake, just running after the guy and trying to, well, fight him. I don't blame Tommy Robinson at that point. And I think that's ridiculous that the people, that anybody within the UK thinks that's acceptable, or anybody here thinks that's acceptable. You have all these various publications saying, "Oh, well, milkshaking is good, milkshake for America, milkshake for the UK," and it's like the first time someone tried to milkshake an American politician or the president while he's on tour, yeah, that's not going to
They
end well.
they they are going to get a nice friggin' chest punch from Secret Service.
Oh no, I don't think they'll get a chest punch. I think they'll get shot.
Yeah.
Like I seriously do, just because of the fact that you're assaulting the president. They don't know what else you got. Maybe just a milkshake, but what else you got?
Mm-hmm.
And once the first person does that to like Trump and gets shot, I guarantee you it will. It won't be. Oh, it's so funny. It was like, oh my god, they got shot. What did you think was going to happen? And what happens when the escalation comes where it's like, oh, well, if you milkshake me, I'm going to punch you. Oh, well, then I'll throw this, I'll throw that. And it keeps getting harder, and people start throwing things back that are actually doing damage.
Mm-hmm.
The BK is the same company that did the Deal You Weight on Happy Meals and Pink Tax Chicken Fingers. I'm not the yeah, right? No, that's very true. Very true. And what's sad is I like Burger King, and now I'm like I can't even eat there anymore.
Yeah, I eat at Burger King more often than McDonald's because I just whenever I go to McDonald's, I just don't feel full. Well, I go to Burger King after one meal, I feel like I can't eat a damn thing anymore.
Right?
I actually get satisfied at Burger King.
Well, because they use real meat, whereas McDonald's uses the basically like soy and other thing, the pink slime meat
Yeah.
that's been proven to cause like cancer and things like that. And no, that's also a valid point. Someone could be allergic to the milkshakes. It's very true. People who are lactose intolerant have food
Yeah.
allergies.
I think at that point it becomes aggravated assault.
Yeah, but we're still talking about people who would rather run around and cry about my face versus present actual arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Checkers is the real way to go.
I just prefer Sonic or Wendy's.
Yeah, I agree there. Croissant sandwiches are good. Like Burger King's just got better quality food for the most part, but no, I can't even eat the minute you step into the culture war, the minute I stop going, I'm going to stop eating there.
Yeah.
And you know what? I live in Oklahoma. I got Whataburger. Fuck you, Burger King. I'll spend the extra like $1 or $2 for a nice sized burger of real meat and like good fries and yeah, McDonald's is F tier. I agree. Like,
So the only thing I really have to complain about when it comes to Sonic or Wendy's, Wendy's, the salt of the fries are very inconsistent. Like one place you go to, there's too little salt on the fries. A different place, there's too much salt on them. And then at Sonic, it's that I just can't goddamn find any Sonic that's still doing the pretzel bread buns for their conies.
I don't think
Where's the pretzel bread, Sonic? Where is it?
Dude, footlong coney and fries. Get you a good drink. Preferably a strawberry lemonade. You're set. Also, what's up, Rebirth? Bleh. My mouth's not wanting to work all of a sudden. But anyway. No. I like how we're getting on a food tangent when we're supposed to be talking about milkshakes. But I guess you know, I wouldn't be.
I mean, it's technically on topic.
It is. As a fast food worker, trust me, go home and make your own food. Yeah, ain't that the truth? No, but like, I don't know, you throw if like I was running for some sort of political position, you throw a Sonic milkshake at me, I'm gonna try to catch that motherfucker.
My milkshake now.
And wouldn't even drink out of. Fuck you. And throw it. Let it be a Brahms milkshake and it's done. Done, son. Because Brahms is dude. You've been hit by a smooth milkshake. Nice.
Oh boy.
Nice. That was a good one. But I mean, come on. Let's be honest. The milkshake bit is a symptom of greater problem. Because the far left ideology has been blown out of the water so many times, people are just resorting to that because they're like, and you know, they try to sit there and say like words are violence, but at the same time silence is violence, and you know, they constantly change the rules, and since they are constantly having the rules turned around and put basically like, come on, ball back in your court, come on. Oh nope. Oh, what? Rebuttal. Oh, well, that's wrong. Here's the facts. Well, really, that's not what happened. That was a stealth edit. Here's the proper story. Oh, well, here's the actual numbers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So all they have left now is milkshaking. Nigel Farage goes on BBC. They try to Ben Shapiro him, and he just turns it around on him. It's like, no. I've dealt with y'all long enough to know the games you play. No. Mm-mm.
Right.
And it's sad that we've reached a point where the once bastion of Western civilization, the UK, let's be honest, they were for the longest time the shining beacon of Western culture and of civilization and whatnot, has become. Let's just say, when you have to resort to throwing drinks, when you have to resort to using any type, even violence of any kind, even if it's low-level violence, you've already lost.
Oh,
and remember, the Brexit Party is leading the polls. UKIP is leading the polls. Like, according to certain polls, Brexit Party is double. Like, we're talking, it's the Tory and the Labour Party combined cannot touch it.
Yeah.
Or do you draw the line? This is how it always starts. One milkshake isn't that bad. The rock was small. Bricks aren't that hard. Yeah, and like the
I mean,
Tommy Robinson event.
like within 24 hours of Tommy Robinson getting, I I think he got milkshake too. With like 24 hours, his people as well as children started getting bricked.
That was actually this past weekend. There was a Tommy Robinson event, and he got there. You see a kid being loaded up into a car, crying and whatnot because the kid got hit by a brick. Because the and here's the thing that bothers me. It's like, okay, UK Muslims. If one of you stumbled across one of my videos or my live streams or something in this particular video, throwing bricks at children does not make it to where you are viewed as sympathetic by the majority of the world. You're just viewed as a bully at that point. That was ridiculous. And the cops didn't bother to like arrest any of them. They're like, just stay back, stay back. Do your goddamn job. The UK people are paying your salary. Do your job. Don't just sit there and keep them at a distance. No, start arresting them motherfuckers. But there's 100 of them. They called for backup.
Weren't those protesters like escorted to that Tommy Robinson thing by the police?
I don't remember. I think they just showed up.
I think I remember a few people mentioning that they were actually escorted there.
And I like that the bastion of UK bastion of Western ideology and principles. France would like to know your location. One problem: France, yes, after the spread of Christianity throughout Europe and whatnot, you know, if Paris was where Constantine, if I remember correctly, his one of his sons actually did try to be, you know, emperor of Europe like Constantine had been, but one problem: France didn't conquer half the planet. I'm just saying. Just saying.
It's kind of sad to see the state that France is in when you realize that France was actually the country that was actually the people who saved Europe from being invaded by the African Muslim Moors. Long after Spain fell, and France became like the leading figurehead of the Holy Roman Empire before it got turned to Germany.
And yes, Neo Star, they did nothing. Nothing. A child was hit with a brick, and they didn't do squat. It's actually really sad and pathetic. It shows, and it's sad. It's like I said, the rest of the free world, like America's laughing at you know, the UK. We're looking at England like you're creating your own problem. Don't look at us making fun of our president. You know, with your Trump derangement syndrome.
And speaking of all that, did you also hear about the newest thing that's happening where Sweden is actually banning the use of runes because it might offend people?
Not at all surprised, to be honest. Not at all surprised. It's like, look, you can see, but they don't realize that the more they do that, the more they are setting themselves up for the actual Swedes, like the legit Swedes, to start being like, okay, purge. Like, flips keyboard, purge.
Technically, Britain is France because William the Bastard kind of took over Britain. I mean, if you want to get technical about things.
Well, actually, isn't the Queen actually descended from Germans?
Dude, there is so much crossover and
it's
fallback and royal families are weird. Let's just keep it at that. Royal families are weird.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Those are some gnarly trees.
Well, yeah, and you got to also take into account part of ways of maintaining peace for a couple generations was
marrying the children of the superpower next door.
Exactly. So not at all surprised.
Right now I'm still trying to figure out how to work XSplit.
Right, no worries.
Kind of interesting.
Remember when the UK was making fun of Trump and calling him incompetent? Look at what became of their country. Yep.
Never laugh at another country's political incompetence, because your own will surprise you.
Yep, but where the butter knife agenda? Don't forget the spoon that was amongst that picture. A bunch of like knives, like kitchen knives. The one like Tonto amongst them. The one like even then it's still technically a knife. And then you see a spoon, an antique spoon, no less, which kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, it was kind of. I mean, hey, they're trying to weaponize tetanus. Let's not downplay this.
Right. Like, come on. It's
But
like,
I'm about to give some people some heavy metal poisoning.
but it's like, it makes me mad because we're dealing with a situation where it's why come Friday, we all know who's going to win. It's not going to be, if they don't win, you're going to see an uprising within England. Like, because, oh, no, don't apologize, Happy Shadows. Believe me, we understand. Fellow history.
Is there a way I could stream my own gameplay on your Hangout or nah?
Yeah, go to settings at the top of the screen. Where it is on mine. Settings, the camera icon should give you an XSplit option.
It's not giving me an option. It just has the laptop camera.
Oh, really? There we go, dude. Share. Because see, look at that. Look at the infinite screens. But yeah, no. You go here, settings, and notice how I have my webcam and XSplit.
Do you have to like give me like permissions or something for me to do that? Because I'm not seeing it.
No, you should be able to stream without permission. You should be able to just load up XSplit and then be able to stream. Like the fact that you're having this much trouble is surprising because, like, you're the first person who's had this, much difficulty. Like, but yeah. Either way, I mean, it's sad that you have this going on over there, and there's nothing like I said, if the Brexit Party and UKIP, who's leading the polls right now, don't win, some fuckery was afoot, and that that's going to cause people to revolt. And it's just like, come on, dude. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
But, whatever. On to the next topic. California proving that they are progressive as ever.
Yeah, I'm not really that surprised.
So
every time we talk politics, it's gotta wind up coming to California somehow.
So apparently, those coastal cities are experiencing an outbreak of medieval diseases. Legit diseases that we have cures for and have long since died out. Yet they are.
I recently, while eating, I saw that come up on Fox because my parents just watch Fox 24/7. I don't care for Fox as well as I don't care for any mainstream media outlet, but it's nice background noise, I guess. But if I'm right, I heard something about a measles outbreak happening, which I'm like, which measles outbreak? Right. There's so many of them, as well as outbreaks of many other diseases.
Well, in this case, it's because of all the trash that's not been taken care of. Their homeless population, people defecating in the streets and things like that. Has caused, I think it's typhus to come back.
Oh my god, typhus? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
What's next? Dysentery?
Probably.
Oh my god, no.
That's probably going to be the next step, Neostar. That's probably going to be the next step. I wouldn't be surprised if California starts to...
I mean, didn't China already have a thing with bubonic plague?
I'm not sure actually.
If I
I'm not.
remember right, some man in China had an entire city quarantined because he had the Black Death.
Wow. I mean, granted, the bubonic plague. The biggest worry about the bubonic plague is it coming back resistant to antibiotics. Simple antibiotics can get rid of it. Yes, yes. Not to mention hiring pooper scoopers, Band-Aid solution. Like, oh my god, it's like, and what's sad is it's because they have such high homeless population that,
as well as mass immigration of people who just refuse to be vaccinated.
yeah, it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know how I am. I'm like, I begrudgingly say vaccinate your kids just to be safe. It's an unfortunate thing. I would rather there be a lot more research put into it. You and I disagree on that, but I still say vaccinate your kids just to be safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would respect anti-vaxxers a lot more if they just came up with a better excuse than autism, because it's
Well,
not really a valid reason to, risk your kids receiving, like extremely deadly, fatal diseases, and then not only are their lives at risk, but also the lives of other kids who can't get vaccinated because of autoimmune deficiencies,
mhm.
which will result them in being, actually contracting the weakened virus and end up dead. So you're not putting your child at risk with your choice. You're also risking the other people's children who don't even have the choice of taking it because of your freaking paranoid fantasies.
Mhm. And
You do not have the right to, risk your child and other people's children's life because it makes you feel better.
well, like for me, it's yes, I'd like to see a lot more research done into them and whatnot. But one of the things I've pointed out,
I mean,
I'm not sure if it's true.
it's not like vaccines and most GMOs receive the most vigorous testing in all of science nowadays.
GMOs, the GMOs are also a thing I'm kind of iffy on, but that's just because. But then again, I'm like genetic editing can be a good thing. It's just you know what I mean. But like, here's my whole point on the whole like autism bit. What if there's a thing called high functioning autistics? People who are damn near robot people. They everything gets in, and they can, you know what I mean. It doesn't debilitate them.
Hmm.
And my thought when I see them and I look at the people who are debilitated by it, I'm like, huh. And then I got thinking about it. The amount of information we take in on an average day now is literally 100 to 1,000-fold almost what someone took in on a daily basis a century ago.
Right.
What if Mother Nature's trying to catch us up to our information and the high functioning autistics are the next step in human evolution?
So
And
basically, the new predator approach.
kind of like I've never heard that term before, so enlighten
I
me.
mean, the way that the new predator is like now set up is that the predators are actually trying to encourage like climate change, so that way planet Earth could be more like their home planet, and they hunt beasts throughout the galaxy, not to just have the best hunt ever and make themselves have a worthy opponent. They actually take in the DNA of the things they hunt into themselves to improve themselves. And one of the predator ships gets found out by this kid with autism, and he's like the only person in the entire world that's figured out how to like backwards engineer this stuff. And the predator who owns that ship found out about it, so now he's trying to hunt down the kid to integrate his DNA into him to improve his own species.
Yeah. Also,
It's a whole string of events. It's a whole string of events.
I heard the new Predator sucked, so I didn't bother to see it.
It's not that good. It becomes downright laughable when bigger, blacker predator comes in.
I like that. Bigger, blacker predator.
That's essentially what it is. It's bigger, blacker predator.
That is hilarious. And Neostar said I wouldn't be surprised if a dysentery outbreak occurred in California. Neither would I. Neither would I. Think of the childs. What about the childs? I know, right? And humble. Yeah, dysentery. Yikes. Looking green. Yeah, I know. This is an Oregon Trail. Why are people trying to bring these diseases back? You'd think that somewhere along the line someone would have told them, "Hey, this is not a good idea. This looks like it resembles bad idea, bad plan. Definitely bad plan.
I mean, and it's like, we pretty much have it required they need to be vaccinated just to get into the public school system, yet we can't vaccinate people who want to come into the country.
Right? And and that's where I'm kind of like, I'm torn, because on the one hand, the libertarian mindset that I have is, we shouldn't be compelling people to vaccinate, but at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? It's a health risk, and is something that should be dealt with. Like like I said, it's like I said earlier, it's nuance, the killer of ideology. But but no, what ended up happening though in California with the typhus coming back is a lot of it has to do with uncollected trash. So like in LA,
as well as just decriminalizing, shitting in the streets and having used up needles all over the goddamn place.
Those are not helping either. But no, it's rodents were tested and found to have fleas with typhus on them amongst these major trash piles. They even found out tested animals at a animal shelter in the area that like 60 of the animals there or something like that, like almost all of them had fleas with typhus and things like that. People are like, well, what would happen to the animals? It's like, what happened to the animals. The animals had to be put to sleep, unfortunately, and the whole place had to be cleaned to get rid of the fleas. Or else you're going to be giving people pets with typhus and getting the people sick.
Yeah.
Don't worry, DLSR. We'll see you when you get back.
I have no idea what it's up with XSplit just refusing to work with my Dust School team YouTube. It just absolutely refuses to.
I could not tell you, dude. I really couldn't. Like, I haven't had problems with it. That's why I'm like, but it's still one of those, if nothing else, maybe next time we'll get it working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also noticed you have Saints Row 2 on your Steam account.
I do.
You need the Gentleman of the Row mod. And possibly, if we're lucky, we will still be able to connect and play that and stream that. Because that's a fun game to stream while playing in multiplayer, I bet. Because, 2 is the best one gameplay-wise, so.
Yeah.
Like, hands down. Also had a really good story. I think 3's story was the best, but that's just because it's like in Borderlands 2, after Jack kills Roland, the rest of the game you're pissed. And before we get back on topic about California and their problems.
Mm-hmm.
And the how gamers are so racist and this, that, and the other. Get anyone who's played Borderlands 2, the minute they killed Roland, the black guy, anyone who played Borderlands 2 was pissed and was from that moment on out to get Jack. But we're so racist. I'm just saying.
We have so thanks to freaking Game of Thrones, we've definitely got quite the ammunition to people who complain about other people complaining about, being, how you say, disappointed in how and disappointed in artists and creators. Because I remember when I was told I was X, Y, and Z for not liking, the Mass Effect 3 ending and for not liking the new Star Wars movies. But
Mhm.
the moment Game of Thrones goes south, everyone freaks out, and now there's official, like in Chicago, official psychological counseling for people who don't like the ending. Game of Thrones, what the hell?
Okay, it's like, mind you, I'm not a Game of Thrones fan. Never have been.
Me neither.
And it's like, if you like it, you like it. I'm not going to fault you for it. I'm going to be over here playing my video game thinking, why the hell do you like that shit? But whatever. But then you see the people who are like just all butthurt, and it's like the one meme with James Franco where he's got the noose around his neck and everything. It's like, first time.
Yeah, your first time here?
It's like, no, we've been here. We've been here a few times, and it's like, it's sad because I'm still giggling of Game of Thrones Starbucks. Yes, I heard about that.
Or that water bottle that somehow appeared on screen.
I guess I don't know. I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah, there's a scene where if you look carefully enough, you can see a water bottle.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. And it's like, from what I gathered, apparently they just didn't care for this last season. Neo Star's back. Like, and the fact that everyone's all up in arms about the ending, and it's like,
it's like now all of a sudden customers have the right to complain of what they consider a subpar product.
Now
all of a sudden consumer rights are a thing.
Yeah, but when we were bitching about, the comics, for instance, video games, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, all these various others, and mind you, I'm not a Doctor Who fan, but I'm still throwing that in there. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I like my Star Wars, but I'm still throwing it in there.
I'm a Doctor Who fan, and while I was one of the most excited for Peter Capaldi, I was also the most disappointed about Peter Capaldi. Oh God, his episodes. Granted, he's still a great doctor, and he had a fantastic premiere. But God damn, that fell down south really quick.
I still think it sucks that John Hurt died, because I think I would have watched that.
Yeah,
I would have watched that just
granted,
because.
I'm still very much I'm still very much a Matt fan, but I was so ready for Peter Capaldi. But
only doctor I
like. I guess I'll just
like Matt Smith, the only doctor I like.
I think Matt Smith won me over because the first episode I saw of him was him literally talking shit to a star with a face on it.
That's fun.
Just begging for the star to kill him, and it just refused to happen.
Are you talking the Lum Tower, the one where he debuted?
No. The one where they go to the moons, and he's trying to save a girl for being sacrificed to a star that ate people's memories.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that one.
No, I liked the 11th Hour. The 11th Hour actually, you know what I mean? That I liked how he did, where he just comes out and you see him finally, he's talking to the eyeball, explaining what's going on, and you see him get the bow tie done. He's like, as he walks through, "Hello, I'm the doctor," and you just see the peace.
Yeah.
Dip out. I like that journalists think everyone's racist these days. Man, that ain't no lie. Unfortunately, NeoStar probably paused the stream, so he's trying to get caught back up. So, understandable. Yeah.
And meanwhile, here's me wishing for Lady Christina de Souza will make a comeback.
Right.
She was such a great character. She would have made a fantastic companion to David Tennant, but nah, that didn't happen.
Nope. And, everyone likes David Tennant. The only reason why I like David Tennant is because of the fact that he's one of those people, you see him and you're like, you could tell when he was playing the Doctor, he actually wanted to be the Doctor. Like, that was a dream come true. You could tell he was like a kid in a candy store. And so...
almost everyone who became the Doctor had like that life goal dream to be the Doctor. It was the same with Chris Eccleston, the same for David Tennant, the same for Matt Smith, and the same for Peter Capaldi. They all made their life goal to be the Doctor at some
Well,
point in their career.
what's funny is Matt Smith actually auditioned to be Watson.
Really?
And yes, he auditioned to be Watson, and that's how he ended up getting the role of the Doctor. Is because they thought he did such a Stephen Moffat thought he did such a good job as like he's like, I don't think you're right for Watson, but I do want you to play the Doctor. And that was like, well, I came in for one thing and left with another. That's even better.
I mean, I came in for one job, but here you are. Give me the keys to the castle.
It's like I remember
Who am I to refuse?
well, it's like a overly photogenic guy. I came across a meme I had made on Facebook, and it's like, goes to speak before Congress, leaves president.
Yeah, and one thing I like with Peter Capaldi is that he opened up the door for non-English actors to go in and become the Doctor. Just as long as they're was British at some point. So now I'm just waiting for either the American Doctor or the Australian Doctor to come into the picture.
Dude, you know who I want to see play Doctor Who if they did an American version? I want to see Bruce Campbell play the Doctor.
Bruce Campbell would be pretty good.
I think he could do it too. I think he could do it and do it well. I like how we're supposed to be talking.
It's just like how Peter Capaldi did some Scottish jokes. We can make some American jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone will be happy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and like may I say it's a shame that it took Bruce Campbell until pretty much he was on Burn Notice before he really got to that level of stardom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, come on, man, he should have been a star back in the '90s, especially when he was playing the Princess Thieves on Xena and whatnot and Hercules. So it's such a shame. Such a shame. Humble Marty agrees. But and to touch on it, because Neostar brought up a valid point, and I do kind of want to talk about that because so did you hear about the I think it's a Washington Post or something like that reached out to a game the company that makes Sniper 3 or something like that, the mobile game and whatnot, and you can get it on Steam and everything. Right. Because there was one mission that had them kill a journalist, and so they reached out and basically had a big stink. So now that mission is out of the game.
That's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That is asininely stupid.
Oh, I agree. And it's like you wonder why people are putting more faith in, as bad as it sounds, and guys like me who put out random videos talking about the news and doing news and political analysis than they are over people who went to journalism school. Here's why. You think you know better than your average, than the plebs. And when you get called on it, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I went to journalism school. I'm part of the protected class. I can say something to Twitter and Twitter will have you banned.
Despite journalism school is by and large one of the most useless things I have ever heard in my entire life.
Right? Why not you need to be a journalist? The ability to be objective when talking about something. To be able to give people facts. And then if you want to throw your opinion on there, it's like, how many videos have you seen me do where I do give you the facts first and then I give you my opinion?
Shouldn't be fair and balanced in journalism. Should be just the state of being. You shouldn't need to know that. Should just be, the given.
Right. But
it kind of says a lot. You need an entire class regimen just to learn how to be ethical.
And like this Humble Marty's like, I'm a Star Wars fan. I've been let down way too many times since The Force Awakens. I know, right?
The only thing about Force Awakens I really even liked were the bad guys. Not how the bad guys operated, just the characters, the bad guys.
Yeah,
I don't like the First Order, but I do like Snoke, Ren, and Hux before they got utterly screwed over character-wise in the Last
Right.
Jedi, but they
Right,
had a
Rian Johnson.
lot of promise
Oh
in
yeah,
Force Awakens.
and what's funny is now J.J. Abrams having to go back and retcon things in The Last Jedi in Rise of the Skywalkers. It's like
And
that.
the only good character, the only good guy character I even remotely enjoyed was freaking Finn, and then they absolutely ruined him through like in The Force Awakens too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No. And it's like you really just look at Rian Johnson. You're just like, me personally, what I would have done if I was Bob Iger. This is a hated movie. Last Jedi is no longer canon. The Last Jedi is, as far as we are concerned from here on out, we treat it like a fan.
I actually would not have minded if Finn died at the end of The Force Awakens, because he was a coward who ended up sacrificing himself for a greater cause, helping out a friend. That would have been great for him, but then he, at least if not dead, then horrifically maimed / crippled for life. Have a consequence for his sacrifice and make it meaningful. But nah, he's just fucking fine. Doesn't have
Yeah, give his
lift up. I doubt even look up. If you take like lift up his shirt, you even see the burn scar on his back. He is so fine.
Yeah. No, I get it. I really do. And it's but but mind you, the minute we mentioned this, to get back on the subject of, like that Rian Johnson always to me, or will always be to me, have a giant baby head. Oh, and we have 6-scale combat in chat as well. Welcome, dude. But no, dude, like, I look at that whole situation and I just can't help but feel like but to bring this back to like journalism and whatnot, like the minute we try to bring up these problems with any of these franchises, the journalists sit there and be like, "We don't know what you're talking about. This was this is a cinematic masterpiece because someone from our tribe that we like made it." And where the fans are like, "We don't care what tribe you're a part of. It's a piece of shit. It sucked. It was dumb. It was bad. We leave the propaganda at the door." Prime example. And I saw Endgame and Shazam the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Shazam was the better movie. I'm not even going to try to lie. Shazam was the better movie. Shazam started off slow. It was your standard origin movie, so slow starting. But once he got into it, it got really good. Really, basically, once he got his powers, it got good.
Mm-hmm.
It got good and it got interesting quick, and they did diversity right. It wasn't like Endgame where you have to girl power seed and oh well, we're gonna do all these things that are woke and be pure propaganda. You know what I mean? Just leaving you looking at the damn screen like, oh my fucking god, this is. And I'm not going to say that Endgame was a bad movie. I'm going to say it was still a fairly good movie.
The more I learn about Endgame, the more I start disliking it because of a lot of very bad scenes I wind up noticing.
Oh yeah, Anita Starr said it best. There's no point in making entertainment woke because it will never be woke enough for everyone. Exactly.
I can already name you 2 scenes that make me not even want to consider watching the Endgame even more than before. One is how Scott Lang comes back into the picture. You mean to tell me, after all these years of build-up, all of this meta timeline making to build up to this movie, the best thing they ever came up with to get Scott Lang back in the picture and give everyone the idea of time travel to beat Thanos once and for all and save the universe is a rat stepped on a button.
Yeah, pretty much.
A rat stepped on a button. That rat just saved the entire goddamn universe. What?
Yeah. But
what?
That's
the best they got. A rat.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. It was hilarious. And real quick from chat, 6-scale combat. The journalistic media changed from objectivity to ideology, but the entertainment media will swing back with the paradigm shift. Yes, but see, here's the thing. It wasn't objective media, it's accountability media, which means instead of giving you the information that you're coming to them for, they are instead pressing down on the scales and trying to hold people accountable. Thus, like a thing that they do is they'll sit there and be like, well, we see you're doing this. We want a comment about it from you, which puts pressure on the various companies and causes them to bend the knee. Which I'm sorry, if I had that happen with me, and I'd look and be like, you're not getting me to bend the knee. Well, we will smear you in the media. You smear everyone. You're dirty, dirty smear merchants. Everyone with a brain knows this. You're not trying to, you know what I mean? And then Neostar says, they literally advertised that Finn was the new hero just to snatch it away before the finale. Yep. What happened to my representation? He was supposed to be a strong black male character for all the chillins. But what's wrong, Ruin Johnson? I thought you were progressive. I thought that was your tribe. But
they also majorly screwed up his adversary as well.
Oh yeah, what was wrong? So what? The white woman was more important than the black man? Showing your bias there, Ryan Johnson.
I mean,
showing your bias.
I'm as well. I'm not giving Ryan any slack, but this is an issue that even JJ has to account for. They royally screwed up Finn's adversary storyline. Like, holy crap!
Wasn't that supposed to be Phasma?
Here's how I would have done Finn's story. All right, here's some shit those writers can hear. I would not have, even though he is absolutely meme worthy, I would have not had Trader the Stormtrooper fight Finn at the cantina during the raid. Right? It should have been Phasma, and then Phasma should have kicked his ass. All right, just utterly kicked his ass. And then when they go to the Starkiller base, it's not Phasma they stick up. It's some other engineer that's not in, freaking laser-proof armor that he can't hold up at gunpoint, logically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the second movie with the freaking Last Jedi, when Finn gets caught by Phasma and all that, and chaos erupts, and then Phasma and Finn have another fight, right? They're fighting each other. They seem to be somewhat matched because Finn has actually been trying to, practice and train because he's no longer the coward anymore. He actually, did his sacrifice and became a better man in the first movie. So he's been training to, be a better fighter for the cause and his friends. But she's still too much. She still manages to beat Finn, but just barely. He actually gave her a fight despite being, a low-class soldier that was like brainwashed and all that nonsense, right? Then in the third and final movie, they have the final confrontation, and Finn comes out on top.
Right, like actually do it right and have a compelling hero's journey for him. Yeah, no, I get it. And now to real quick, touch in chat. Humble Marty said, I picked Detective Pikachu over Avengers Endgame. Great movie with a coffee-addicted electric mouse. I want to see that, and I'm going to see it next week. If I didn't get called into work today, I was thinking about going to see it today. No lie. But, and Neostar, I loved Shazam. I don't blame you. That movie was amazing. Shazam had better diversity in a single act than most woke movies in the past 5 years. Like, yes. Oh my God, yes. Yes. Like, to me, like, out of the Marvel family, the best character was the little 8-year-old girl, the black 8-year-old girl. Because she's just so innocent. And then when she, like, finally gets her powers and she's oh my God, it's Anna. It's Anna. I've been really good this year. If you don't find that adorable, you have no soul.
It's actually kind of interesting because while I was initially interested in Endgame, over time I just became more and more, just over it. But then Detective Pikachu and the Sonic movie comes out, and I absolutely loathe the idea of them, but I'm actually starting to warm up to them.
Oh, dude. Like, I mean, no longer like Jim Carrey as a person.
Like, I still don't like Sonic the Hedgehog as a movie, but once I saw the trailer and saw how the characters acted, I'm like, okay, this actually has some good stuff going on. It looks terrible, but it actually sounds like an actual Sonic movie.
Yeah. Oh, dude. All I gotta say is I may not like Jim Carrey the person anymore, but I think he will single-handedly carry that movie. Then let's be honest, it's good to see Cyclops working. But just pure and simple,
Yeah,
it's good to see Cyclops working.
that's right, Neostar. In fact, if you're to actually look up right now on YouTube, freaking Matt Pat from Film Theory has actually tried to calculate the possibilities of a rat just accidentally unleashing him from the from like the quantum realm.
Especially since half of the rat population, like everything else, was wiped out.
Yeah. So yeah, that is an actual thing. A rat saved Scott Lang, and through Scott Lang, they figured out about the idea of time travel to beat Thanos.
Right, and I like that. Not thanks to Ghost and Black Goliath, yeah, all right. And then 6 scale Smear Merchant would be a great T-shirt, by the way. Yeah, all right. And the only two people
I would buy a Smear Merchant T-shirt.
Right, a dirty Smear Merchant T-shirt. See, thanks Sargon of Akkad for that one. I didn't come up with it. I'm not taking credit for it. That was Sargon, and I didn't even hear about it through Sargon. I heard about it through Tim because of Tim Pool. But then Neostar are the only two people that knew anything about the quantum tunnel, right? And it's like, the other thing as well. But what happened? Maybe they got the snap. I'm just saying, maybe they got the snap.
Yeah.
Never know. I will say, finally hearing, Captain America say "Avengers Assemble" was nice and all, but that scene just it got killed.
There's also two other things. Well, there's still some other scenes involving in game that I've learned about that I just don't like at all.
Like the whole Captain Marvel.
Well, there's that, but I mean, like, there's like the whole, let's stop this insane epic battle to, do obligatory pandering, girl power shot for the Fembucks. There's that. Then there's Thanos' weapon and its absolute atrocity. Just the fact that Thanos uses that makes me wonder if he ever fought before, and makes me wonder why the Avengers actually having problems finding the guy if he thought that's a legitimate weapon.
Right.
And then there's freaking Captain America's ending, which is, well, yes, I guess emotionally satisfying. It's absolutely horrible for the character in the story.
Yep, because it means he stood by. And well, my whole thing is like they're talking about trying to prevent a whatchamacallit, a alternate timeline, and it's like y'all know how I am when it comes to time travel.
Yeah.
Like,
now, you see, Neostar, I could get behind that. If Phasma was a Mandalorian, I could at least forgive a few things. But, well, actually, no, considering how they treated Phasma and that Phasma actually does nothing at all whatsoever, I probably hate it even more for ruining Mandalorians.
Right. But, no, like, for me, it was like the girl power scene I didn't like. The like, Captain Marvel, if I remember right in the comics, is base. Without the Infinity Gauntlet, she's just as strong as Thanos. If I remember correctly. Just as strong.
And about 5 times more fascistic, too.
Well, no, that's after. She used to be a really fun character. She wasn't like that. That's the whole point. She didn't used to be like that.
There was a Carol Danvers that was actually nice.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Back when she was Miss Marvel, not only was she really hot, but she was really fucking cool. You liked her. She was a fun character. She wasn't angry. Even after everything that happened with Rogue and whatnot, she was like, shit happens. Move on. And it's like, I liked that character. I was never a big Miss Marvel fan, but I still liked the way they portrayed her. The way, when I did read her in other crossovers, she was always really fun, really cool, really just easygoing. Civil War 2 happens, and she becomes a Nazi. I'm just saying. And
considering what is it? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Have you seen all the people trying to lewd Captain Marvel, asking Peter if he's got something for her?
I did see that.
Yeah.
No, and let me see real quick. Humble Marty, yeah, yes, that's the scene I was talking about where she headbutted him, and he headbutted her to, like, come on, no, they are equally matched base, so he would have done some damage, and she wouldn't have been able to drop him down to the knee. All right, so at that point, him having the Infinity Gauntlet already, he would have just pulled it to her, bam, and you would have just see her head. Bye bye. Like even in the comics,
Apparently,
they have.
Space Great Boy's weapon is supposed to be a callback to the Thanos helicopter. Oh, you see, pandering to memes can be great. If they actually went for real with Ant-Man beating Thanos by crawling up his ass in the movies, that would have been great.
All right.
But that, no. No.
All right. But let's see, and like, yeah, still no, gotta have standards, man. Yeah, I agree. But no, like my whole point is though, and that whole movie is further proof that, like, and that's why it's a tale of two movies, if you ask me. Shazam and Endgame. Shazam does, like already been mentioned, diversity well, very well. You walk out of that movie feeling good, looking forward to the next Shazam movie. All right, you walk out of Endgame like. It wasn't bad. You feel like you're justifying it. Does that make sense?
Mm.
You feel let down. Like after the past 11 years that you spent watching these movies, just like, why did I just spend? I'm glad I went to see it as a matinee, so I didn't pay full price. But still, I'm also glad I didn't give my money for popcorn and drink. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's because of all that stuff I really can't afford to go to theaters. I have to wait till DVD.
Right. But it was one of those rare days where I had the extra money. I was like, I'm going to go see Shazam. And then I did some job hunting, then came back and I was like, Endgame is about to start. I know I said I wasn't going, and y'all can call me a hypocrite for it. Y'all can call me on it. I completely understand because I did say I was not going to go see that movie.
I've still seen far too many things that convince me to not waste the money on it. My parents are probably still going to buy it, but my time's a bit too precious for that.
All right, but like I said, no, I'm willing to admit though, I said I was not going to see it in theaters. I said I was going to see it in the most disrespectful way, same as Captain Marvel, and I gave in and saw it in theaters. Y'all can hold me accountable there. I completely understand. Like I really did. You know what I mean? Like I should have stuck to my guns, but man, I've been hearing it was so good, and I was like, all right, yeah, even with the scenes where the pandering and whatnot, and it's like, all right, let me go see it, and then I just walk out of there. And like I said, I feel like the more I think about that movie, the more I start to realize that it just wasn't worth it. And then you got the people who are like, if you don't like this scene, you know what I mean? The oh man. It was a specific tweet that someone did where they referred to let's see, they referred to anyone who complained about that scene as what you call it, incels.
Yeah.
Let me see.
And it also seems to be another thing that seems to be on the rise. The use of incel as an insult is kind of weird, kind of creepy that that's becoming a popular thing now.
And my whole response to that, when people try to sit there and be like, "Oh, you're just an incel," so I'm not a disease-ridden individual who has multiple partners, who's not a cuck because I'm unwilling to let my significant other sleep around. You know, that makes me an incel. Okay. I can gaslight a bitch if I really was that desperate to get laid. I could gaslight a bitch in a heartbeat. Like, I'm not going to, but I can. I'm sorry, but to me, if you have to resort to that to, I guess you could say, get your jollies off, It's like, but yeah, y'all know how I feel about Freud, right? Or fraud, as I normally call them. That is Freudian
Mhm.
ideology at its finest. I'm just saying. Yeah, and actually, yes, that is a good point because that's who he's supposed to be attracted to in the comics. The Lady Death.
Thanos X Death is best ship ever.
Yeah, well, because in the comics, that's the only reason why she doesn't end up with Thanos is because she's in love with, well, Deadpool.
Deadpool. And that's why
That's why Thanos hates
Deadpool
Deadpool.
can't die because he was cursed to not die.
Actually, I think they retconned that, but I wouldn't be surprised. They always retcon shit. And it's like they retcon the stupid shit, you know what I mean? Not the shit that they actually should be retconning. Like,
What else is there to really enjoy in the mainstream now? Not in American mainstream, but in Japanese mainstream, there's a ton of shit to watch.
right?
Anime is going to save the goddamn entertainment industry at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then like I don't know, man. It's just I'm trying to find that meme so I could. I think they just. I think they just went ahead and got rid of it because it was causing too much controversy. Because people had, what is the incel bit?
Yeah.
Because I'm actually trying to, because I saw it on this one group I got invited to, Planet EJOBN, the Extraordinary Journey of a Black Nerd Group.
Mm.
So apparently I'm black. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, there's only so many times I can be told by black friends that I'm blacker than them before I have to think maybe I am black on the inside.
Exactly, a reverse Oreo or something.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. But no, it was what it was a tweet of the random dude, I don't know from what cartoon or something, and it was basically him be like, I didn't like that scene in Avengers Endgame, so I got to talk about it online and whatnot. It was like, and it was basically someone giving a snarky comment. But of course, Gorgon, I got to pull that out of context and whatnot. Like, come on, I can't be going back too far here. It's like, then again, a lot of groups, including this one, was all butthurt about Game of Thrones. Who cares? Who cares?
Also, after I've seen some of the stuff that happened in the new Game of Thrones thing, I could kind of see where some people were a bit disappointed. I mean, there's a lot to unpack with the finale. There's a lot.
Right. Come on. I found one of them that I thought that made me cringe. That totally made me cringe. I got that. Like, and when it comes to, like, how do I explain this? That's the problem because there's so much to, like, as they say, unpack with the shit that they pull. That when you're trying to point out the flaws in their argument, it's like there's at what point is it too much? I'm just saying.
Because I think I could safely assume that the few people who are here has either seen the finale or don't care about it. So I could just talk about it. But it's like the stuff that I have seen, doesn't really interest me too much. Like especially with what Drogon, I think the dragon's name is, what it did at the end of the finale, just would make most people who spent years of their life, invested in the political struggle of the kingdoms of Westeros, be like, well, what the fuck? what was the point then?
Right?
Because you know what that dragon did? Do you know what that dragon did?
Not really, because I don't watch Game of Thrones.
He melted the throne. Of all the things, all the scheming and dying that people have done, all those revolutions, all the thing that's been the cornerstone of everyone's philosophy and motivations, the thing that all the kingdoms have been centered around, poof, melted to slag.
That's pretty much so. Basically, they went the Brian Johnson way of handling it.
Yeah. And then you have Daenerys, the woman that wanted to free all the slaves and all that, ends up becoming corrupted by power, is like putting citizens worth of people to dragon fire and becoming a tyrannical bitch, and well, then she ends up dead. It's like, and then Jon Snow, the guy that basically unified the North and those beyond the North to behind one figurehead to help Daenerys, he ends up going back to the north of the wall. It's like, what?
And they end up electing, even though he's technically has a claim to the throne. Like, yeah, that much I do know.
Yeah, it's like, come on, is there gonna be payoff for anything here?
Nope, because, well, quite frankly, you had ideologues handling this and not, you know what I mean? Not people that should have been handling it.
And then you have this guy, this crippled kid who sees into the future that, doesn't really challenge anything. He just lets fate happen no matter what it is, and he had no interest in becoming king, and then also everyone's just fine with letting him be king. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it literally did become a big, I guess you could say,
it's a lot of build up to a souffle to only just stick a pin through it.
let's just be honest. It was pointless. It was stupid. It was pretty much, once again, the Ruin Johnson, the, I guess you could say, the way of storytelling. We'll just go with that. Oh my god, I think they did completely delete the picture even.
And now we don't have to worry about that, but we also have to worry about the two guys who did the last season of Game of Thrones doing a Star Wars thing now, which, I mean, Star Wars is already dead, so I'm not sure what else they could do to it, but still doesn't give a lot of hope.
Right. Dude, I honestly just look at this is just a prime example of what happens once again when you let people who like and you know as bad as it sounds, the only reason why they went with giving a black guy the kingdom is because they wanted to look woke. It didn't have anything to do with storytelling. They just want, well, we'll just give the random black guy the kingdom. We'll look woke. People will like it. We'll be all the progressive or progressive lefties will call us brave and endearing. Like, no, and you end up pissing them off too.
Mm-hmm.
The big gay dragon named Drogon. Right. The throne was a metaphor for the patriarchy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about
oh my god, all the freaking pictures of Forbose Drogon.
Right.
Having freaking monologue with John about why the throne must be melted.
Right. Oh no. That I like that. Think about it like if you played Dragon Age Origins and you weren't allowed to make Alistair king, and halfway through the Blight was just forgotten and ended off screen, right?
The Ryan Johnson souffle of storytelling. Yeah.
Right. Apparently only journos and activists are allowed to complain. Yeah, pretty much.
As a black person, I don't want woke but good storytelling. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, speaking of that, speaking of all that, isn't what's the name of the comic that's coming out? White, the sequel to Black.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing that's happening in the indie comic scene, and not too many people are pleased by it.
the fact that it got funded, man, we all know that got funded by people who basically Kwanzaa called in some favors or asked some people to help them get it funded. That's the only reason. I wouldn't be surprised if all of that is straight Mark Wade with his Indiegogo, or not Indiegogo, but his the GoFundMe money.
Next will be Gray.
Right.
Well, hopefully there won't be 50 Shades of it, because one comic was bad enough.
Right. And but the whole point still stands that we have a situation where these individuals have taken control of these various franchises, do something that pisses people off, and then try to be like, you're just racist because you don't like my progressive storytelling. And they keep doing that until they piss off their own tribe with their own woke progressive storytelling.
And wasn't before whites, they had the whole thing with a comic book where basically they imply that if you survive a school shooting, you get superpowers.
Yeah, that's what him and Mark Wade are doing. It's like, oh God, shoot me now. Hey,
I'll shoot you, and then if you survive it, you get a superpower.
No.
That's how this works, right?
No. It makes me want to be caught in a school shooting just so I can be like, shoot me now, please. I don't even care about the superpowers. I don't care about just shoot me. Just end it. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. People have gone stupid.
You have a choice: your money or your life. Oh, thank God, life, please. Oh shoot, why not both?
Right. Here, have my money, and just
why be
here so you don't miss. Yeah, here so you don't miss. What's going? I don't feel safe. I need an adult.
I am an adult. I own me.
Oh, that sums it up to a T. To a freaking T. And it's sad. And it's like, I guess you can kind of say we have reached the next level of wokeness where where the left is so woke that being woke is never going to be woke enough. So wokeception?
When you have to be so woke, you call out other people's wokeness.
Right. Like if you're white and woke, oh, that's just white supremacy. But what? You goddamn white. And prime example, okay? The picture I've been looking for and looking for and looking for that they deleted.
Mm-hmm.
I called it out for what it is, and was like, look, basically it's like and I went and used their own argument against them. And I was like, well, do you believe in patriarchy? Do you believe in white supremacy? Do you believe these things are real? Well, yeah, then you're a white supremacist, sexist individual. But what? But that no, you obviously are a white supremacist. You have to be. You think you follow the laws of intersectionality, which means that you are right in line with that. And I tore apart her whole argument. Then the whole thing got deleted before I could continue responding.
I've been so waiting for another opportunity to see someone who's against, against people having guns, but also thinks everything is ran by fascists. And I'm like, well, you believe everything is fascistic, then why do you believe everyone should have their guns taken away? Shouldn't we be able to fight this fascism you believe we're surrounded by?
Right.
If you believe if the entire government system is fascistic, why do you want to disarm the populace so we can't revolt against it? Do you not know how resistance actually works?
They don't.
You don't resist by complying.
Oh, and what's funny, the dude I mentioned on several occasions, when I brought that up to him, he was like, "Oh, well, we'll just pick the guns off of dead bodies. That's how we'll get it. We'll get guns." Like, how are there going to be dead bodies? How? You've gotten rid of all the guns. Like, you guys are dumb.
I highly doubt you can fight a revolutionary war with milkshakes.
Right.
and that, boys and girls, is how you make a complete a complete circuit.
Right. And what's up, Spork?
Hey, Sporkman.
Yes. Oh, well, I resorted to trying to find it try to find the picture through searching, and this has got to be the most convoluted, like, search ever. Avengers Endgame Girl Power Incels meme.
What?
Exactly. You see it. You see it.
That's not what I wanted to hear, Rob. That's not what I wanted to hear at all.
All right. Trying to find this damn meme.
Anyways, I'm just proud of myself. I managed to make this rambling mess of this stream, like all of our other streams, actually come full circle somehow to make milkshakes.
Right.
Somehow I made it work.
And yet, they aren't bringing all the boys to the yard.
I mean, like, I had a whole Twitter rant thing about fucking milkshaking.
Well, and let's be honest, it boils down to, like you pointed out, like so many people have pointed out, that, quite frankly, it just shows you have no counter argument. You have nothing.
And I even made that tweet relate to Game of Thrones.
And it's just, I can't help but feel like that whole situation just further proves why people are leaving the left. And I'm one of the people who understand that you...
Sparkman apparently wants to come into the stream.
Oh, okay. I'll go a little bit longer than planned. That's not a problem. Yeah, give me a second. Shooting you the link.
Do you want me to read out this this tweet for all the lovely boys and girls at home?
Go ahead.
I'll also share it. Okay, so read along with me, class. With all this talk of Game of Thrones, it's a surprise people are so cool with supporting political fueled violence. What was that really popular phrase? If you tear out a man's tongue, you're not proving him a liar. You're only telling the world that you fear what he has to say. Sure, it might be hyperbolic to say milkshaking fascists or racists will escalate to tearing out tongues, but the principle is the same. If, instead of debating, you attack other people for their opinions, you're not proving them wrong, only that you are afraid of their message. And that catches people's interest. That makes them look deeper. And by trying to suppress what you don't like or even fear, you become the greatest catalyst of what you're trying to suppress to grow like wildfire. And all things you allow to do to them will be done to you. And those that are anti-fascist should be extra afraid. In their quest to fight fascism, they typically wind up categorizing the most censored people, the most reasonable people, and the most anti-authoritarian people as fascist. And they put in such draconian laws and authoritative preemptive measures that it runs the risk, if not the guarantee, of generations of disenfranchised young that will stew years of discontent over nothing issues or non-existent issues. All shall reap what they sow.
No lie.
And I can guarantee you, if not this generation, if not the next generation, then certainly the generation after next will cause a goddamn shitstorm of a revolution the likes of which we have never seen before.
Right.
I think it's going to come quicker than what a lot of people think it's going to happen.
Hell of a time to jump in there, man. Hell of a time.
Yeah, I saw some of those tweets about what was going on, and I'm like, oh God. I'm like, I can't even get 1 day away. It's like, what the hell, people?
You know what? I thought for a moment the milkshaking was actually a step in the right direction of de-escalating, because we have seen far worse political violence, right? But then, no, like within 24 hours of milkshaking, there's already brick throwing at children. Like, well, no trends here, just same old ass hattery.
Yep. And, you know, the minute you start pointing it out, the minute you start being like, y'all really shouldn't do that. You're just proving people to be correct and, you know, not liking you and whatnot. Then people just turn around and be like, well, that's not what really happened because the BBC said it did.
Yeah.
I'm just, ugh.
I agree. I really do. I find it pathetic that we have to have this conversation in the first place. You know, instead of us actually being able to just sit there and go, okay, we disagree, you know, whoopty-bam, whoopty-bam. No, instead it's, we disagree, but we, being the fact that we control our tribe, I should say, controls all the various news outlets and things of the such and whatnot. We are going to use that as a way to be able to pretty much bludgeon people with our ideology, no matter what damage it does, no matter how many fights it starts and things like that.
I've recently just read up on a thing about the latest thing involving, you know, that will pretty much kickstart a generation of people who will be out for blood in the near future. And it's the story of a kid that got majorly screwed over by the public education system for a non-issue, right? Because the thing is, you got this kid who's like in like the single, I guess like the single years part, like he's like elementary, if not at least middle school, right? He and a friend of his like cracked a joke that's like just in private during lunch or recess or whatever, that came from one of those quote unquote, you know, alt-right people, right? And a girl happened to overhear this and thought it was a, you know, a sexist thing, right?
Yes, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so she goes to the school staff and tattles on him about this, and it ends up with him being practically interrogated for no reason, forced to write a statement of guilt on threat of apparently being arrested, because apparently he broke a non-existent law, and he went home crying because he thought his life was going to be in jeopardy about this whole thing, and even his own mother wasn't really into, you know, like supporting him because he thought he fell to the old right, the Nazis, when, you know, it's not the case. And the only thing the kid had to say to defend himself for listening, you know, to these people is that he's actually talked, you know, to a couple of them, and they are the only people in his entire life that actually take him seriously. No other adults, not even his own parents, like listens to what he has to say. And even like at night, he actually hears like his parents, you know, like laugh at some of the stuff he has to say. And it's because of these individuals, these quote unquote alt-righters, are the only people that actually take him seriously and listen to what he has to say.
Yep. All right.
It's not that hard to treat your children like they're people.
Right.
Not that hard. I can guarantee you.
Oh no, I agree. And I couldn't find the actual meme, so this is coming from the screenshot because you know how I am. But this is basically roughly the meme. And what it's saying here is the shot of female characters in Endgame was unnecessary, and I didn't like it. This is the meme.
Wasn't that guy technically also one of the more challenging villains the Powerpuff Girls had to fight in a one-off?
I don't know.
I can barely remember his episode.
But
I just know with a lot of one-shot villains, the girls tend to have a lot of problem with them. compared to the more serialized ones.
But the point I'm making is the fact that it's like they don't realize that all they did is hurt their own argument. They proved exactly what everything that everyone was. You know what I mean?
And every time I hear people like praise the girl power shot or like treat the shot of Daenerys walking towards the camera with Drogon's wings like behind her, do all these pandering girl power shots. I'm like, well, you can praise them all you want, but all you're proving is that they can market off of your insecurities, that you need girl power to feel better about yourself. And if you feel okay with that, that's your prerogative. But meanwhile, I'd rather be respected by creators and content makers. It's why I very much don't like gay pandering as a bisexual. I don't like it. It's insulting.
Wait! You haven't heard? You haven't heard? Bisexuals are no longer part of the LGBTQ.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
and apparently gay men don't count either too.
Well, yeah, because and they're not. Gay men are actually heterosexual without women.
Oh God, I just saw that like not even an hour ago.
I'm like, oh God, yeah. Hey, I just actually wanted to give a quick update with you guys here on what's going on, since we got a lot of people who backed us here. So, I
gotta hear this.
Yep. So Ginger got her new PC, ordered her new laptop. So yeah, she'll be.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, so she'll be getting that in here in a few days, and she's getting ready to gear up. She's actually going to also make me word balloons, so I can redo the lettering, since we didn't get Jayashiro.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, I do need to call up my artist to see how he's doing, since he recently was getting readjusted to a work schedule. So he started working at. I can't remember where he's working at now. I just know it's some kind of warehouse store.
Oh man, did I chase people off? We are at 6, and now we're down to 3.
I couldn't tell you, but one thing I am going to do, you're going to like this. Woke Mafia in panic as Game of Thrones slays Queen Social Justice Warrior. What were you just talking about?
Woke
Mafia. I just came across this article, so let's enjoy this.
That needs to be a thing. Woke Mafia. Holy shit. That's so good.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Jack.
Right? Oh, dude.
Oh,
no. Oh, dude. Here's one for you. Speaking of Jack, wait, no, that's not. Yeah, it's supposed to be Jack Prosopiak, I guess. No, someone else. I guess.
Prosopiak.
Yeah, Prosopiak.
Well,
yeah,
I got retweeted by Jack Prosopiak yesterday. Yes,
really?
Because he went and tweeted out this greatest fictional characters of all time, and it was like 3 video game characters, one of them being Master Chief. I can't remember the other 2 was, and
if we're talking about fictional characters, I will have to say, what's his name?
It gets better.
Edmund Dantes from Count of Monte Cristo. If you want some real freaking revenge plots,
oh yeah,
that man's the OG.
Oh yes, but the 4th one was Obama. Like it was like video game character, Obama, video game character, Master Chief, and I was like, this. I just got
the greatest fictional characters ever made.
Yeah, and I was like, I just got heartburn because of how spicy this tweet was, and he retweeted it.
Nice.
I'm kind of proud of that. But anyway, to the article. The thrust heard round the realm. No, I'm talking about the numerous incestuous relationships on HBO's Game of Thrones. Well, actually, I'm not about the... I am, but not about the incest itself. I'm talking about Jon Snow finally gathering all the testosterone he could muster to put an end to Hollywood's never-ending moral crusade once and for all by sticking it with the pointy end and letting it drip out all over the floor, literally this time.
Jeez.
Otherwise,
Freaking innuendo heavy opening.
Right? In an otherwise lackluster series finale that was leaked online weeks in advance, one scene stands out above the rest and is worthy of applause. It's a true subversion of expectations. Yes, the show rushed it, but I expect the books will do much better job with the ending. And since event is so subversive to modern entertainment, it smacks of the pen of the series creator George R.R. Martin rather than HBO show's hacked David Benioff and D.B. Wise. Instead of allowing Queen Daenerys Targaryen to rule the kingdoms, which has been her singular obsession since Episode 1 aired in April 2011, the Khaleesi nephew and lover Jon Snow decides he doesn't want to be in the innocent slaughtering regime business anymore and stabs her in the guts just as he's about to ascend to the Iron Throne she has so long craved. Or just as she's about to ascend to the Iron Throne she has so long craved. And of course, the woke mafia is in hysterics over the fact their slay queen and was herself slain. Instead of going on to rule the world like in every other movie and TV show of the past decade, after all, like Hillary, it was her turn.
Yeah, I remember that meme being a thing.
Oh dear God, are you?
I remember that with there was a picture of Hillary and Daenerys saying, "Oh, don't worry, it was my turn too."
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
All right. So, okay.
I mean, did you hear what I said at the beginning? That the fact that in Chicago there is official psychological counseling for people who are in hysterics about the ending to Game of Thrones.
What?
There is actual counseling for it.
Oh my God.
I'm not at all surprised.
Have we become so fucking inept where people have to cry over a TV show?
Yes.
You don't even need to finish the sentence. I will say yes.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing. Like, yes, there are a lot of us who complain about Star Wars, Star Trek, comics, and things like that, but we weren't crying. We didn't need counseling. We just took our money with us and went somewhere else.
All this is doing is making me want to do, just nut up and do my own freaking audio drama, my own vision of the Star Wars trilogy, sequel trilogy.
You know, here's the thing with Star Wars too. They could have filmed Darth Vader taking a shit for 2 hours, and they would have had everybody in the movie theaters.
Yeah. Wait, I thought that's what The Last Jedi pretty much was.
No.
It was Rian Johnson tearing up any single idea anyone's ever had about Star Wars and putting it in a trash can and lighting it on fire,
and then pissing on it.
Yeah, that's The Last Jedi, the movie.
Right.
Because he just filmed that and put it on the big screen.
Right. But all right. The fact HBO allowed this scene to even exist in 2019 is both shocking and kind of amazing. And on this note, I give them credit. I can only imagine how it must have gone down with their executives when Martin told them he was going to kill off the main female character instead of respecting women, like all good media must do in the social justice era. Never mind the fact that in order to take her throne, Dany slaughtered millions of innocent people who stood between her and power, all in the name of liberation and justice or whatever. After all, she had good intentions, right? Wrong. Good intentions don't matter when you and your family are on the receiving end of the wrath of the Dragon Queen. No matter where she stands on the intersectionality scale of wokeness, neoconservatives also measure morality in terms of their own intentions, regardless of the body count and the outcome. They just do it without woke points. Just look at U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East for a better idea. All right? Yeah. Martin's Game of Thrones isn't merely well written. The story is just good because it considers the plight of the common man, the forgotten man in the world of epic fantasy. Daenerys, like social justice warriors in general, doesn't care about the little people unless they do as they are told. And who do better to tell them? Why, her, of course. Daenerys' elitist and narrow view of social morality is all that matters to her and makes her character the perfect stand-in for the terminally woke. Like so many socialists before her, Daenerys became a tyrant the moment she came into power. And yes, that is real socialism.
What is it? Power has the tendency to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
What makes the Game of Thrones finale remarkable is its complete rejection of social justice in favor of true justice. Jon realizes the moral corruption of Daenerys and is absolute, and that with unchecked power she will corrupt the realm, crushing it under her heel while singing songs of equality and tolerance. C.S. Lewis presaged the woke mindset perfectly when in 1949 he wrote, "Of all tyrannies, a tyranny sincerely exercised for the good of its victims may be the most oppressive. It may be better to live under robber barons than under the omnipotent moral busybodies. The robber baron's cruelty may sometimes sleep. Its cupidity may at some point be satiated. But those who torment us for their own good without torment, for their own good will torment us without end, for they do so with approval of their own conscience." Here's what's going on. Martin wrote Game of Thrones starting in the 1990s as an anti-fantasy story, in the same sense that Gone with the Wind is an anti-romance story. As he outlined many times, Brett Butler and Scarlett O'Hara shockingly don't end up together. For Scarlett, throughout the story, love is always just out of reach. It's what makes the story work so well. And so it's no surprise that Martin's ending would parallel this for Daenerys and her just out of reach throne. Side note, this is also why SJWs hate Gone with the Wind, because it's a reminder no one loves them but their cats, and even them, not so much. For the social justice era Hollywood, the only stories you're allowed to write are ones where the women are perfect no matter what they do. All the evil and stupid white male enemies are defeated, and she gets to unquestionably rule the world because reasons. I guess Jon Snow thought Slay Queen was a suggested instead of just a hashtag. Oops. Now, not only is HBO enraged the outrage brigade to come crashing down on them like a horde of woke walkers battering at the castle gate, and George R.R. Martin will likely come under pressure to change the ending of his yet unpublished final books in the series. I urge him to instead stay the course. After all, it's not so often we get an ending out of Hollywood where the moral crusader is the villain, the white cis male comes out on top, and the main character gives up his inheritance to devote his life, the rest of his life, to border security.
Why does Woke Walker sound so great for both Game of Thrones and Walking Dead?
It really does. It really does. And man, just wow. It's like that was just that is hilarious. I'm at a loss of words because that was so topical and it just popped up on my Twitter feed, and I was like, I must share this with y'all because I need to read this because it looks hilarious. Because all I saw was woke mafia in panic as Game of Thrones sway clean social justice ... Another
I would have given it a click just for the usage of woke mafia.
Want me to share it then?
That is such a great opening. I need to use that more often. Woke mafia. It's perfect.
Right.
Now I want a comic book where there's villains in it, and the villains are the woke mafia family.
See, I don't. This is see, shit like this drives me nuts. I mean, set back to share. Like, y'all know how I feel about the whole, like, we were just talking about incels and shit like that. And y'all know how I hate the whole, like, oh, the nice guy bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's be friends, okay? Let me do this way. Video. Let me try it this way. Open image, new tab, because I'll probably be able to. Nope, not well. All right, hide. All right. Let's be friends, okay? I'm sorry, I'm not attracted to you. I only date men taller than me. Killed himself. Oh my gosh, I heard Felix killed himself. What a lovely soul. We will always miss you, Felix. Rest in peace. And then, anyways, ready to talk to me, silly Brent? That's right. And it's like, and the person
That's
said,
right.
This made me this was made unironically by some incel, and that makes it 10 times funnier. And it's like, okay, one, that's just inappropriate. Like,
it is.
I don't care. You don't make fun of, like, we've all known somebody who went that route, especially after just being tormented because no matter how much they tried, no matter what they did right or whatever, they always got passed over for somebody else. So that's not funny. And the fact that the dude's like, this was made unironically by some incel, and that just makes it 10 times funnier. Look here.
Only shows further that these are people you don't want to give the time of day to, or any modicum of power or respect, or barely even courtesy, really. And while I don't hand out respect, I always give people courtesy, and I don't want to give these people that.
And he's like, that feeling when you get rejected by 2 women, so you Kurt Cobain yourself. It's like, it really, that's not.
Like, granted, I've heard funny Kurt Cobain jokes, but that's just disrespectful.
Right. And it's like, it just goes to show. I mean, these are individuals that'll sit there and say, and it's like the whole nice guy bit. Oh, well, just because nice guy means you're trying to buy sex. Bitch.
Well, hold on. Let's rephrase the terminology, because there's a difference between a nice guy
and a nice guy trademark.
Yes. Yeah. Because I mean, I am generally a nice guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't take advantage of women. I respect women, but at the same point, I don't do it to get into their pants. Because I was raised that you respect women, and you don't treat women like shit.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between what we do and what a real nice guy is, and what their version of a nice guy. Yeah, I've been told I'm too much of a nice guy, and I've not gotten girlfriends because of that. And I've actually had other girlfriends that guys were like, "How did she go out with you?" Oh, because I'm a nice guy. She didn't want the asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and there's a big difference between their version of nice guy and what a real nice guy is.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, when you mention, like, well, it's one of those, they sit there and be like, why are there more nice guys left? And you point out, because of bitches like you. Well, but they always wanted to have sex with me, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, see, here's the thing. And here's the thing I point out is, like, you mean male feminists?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who are the nice guys. No, your actual nice guy wants your companionship, wants to be around you. It doesn't matter if you are. The intercourse is, I guess you could say, optional. Not that they don't care about that.
Well, it's a bonus, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the fact of you could be in a relationship, and it doesn't have to be sexual. Is that a great thing? Yeah, you can have a great sexual relationship. I think it can be, but a relationship cannot be built on sex. It has to be more than just that.
Exactly. And it's like, and like, prime example, when I was a nice guy, I didn't care. That wasn't what I was worried about. I was trying to find companionship. And when I didn't get it, and I kept seeing these, it's like a buddy of mine once told me years ago. He was like, trying to be a nice guy in today's day and age is like running a race with one leg tied behind your back. You're sitting there, you're hopping along, and you see this group of assholes come running by. It's like, whatever. You keep hopping along. You see this another group of assholes come running by, no problem. Whatever, you're still in the cars, doing your thing. You hop along. After like the 5th or 6th time, you see a group of assholes come running by. You just finally say, fuck it. Cut the leg loose and start running with the assholes.
Well, I think you can also be, I mean, I look at it like my best friend's wife calls me. She's like, you're a dickhead. I'm like, you can be a nice guy and still be a dickhead, and girls can still be attracted to that kind of thing. It's about who you are. You got to be true to yourself. You cannot, you can't let, as my one friend always says, you can't let the pussy rule you. You know,
Oh,
because when you let the pussy roll you, then all logic and reason goes out the door.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
So
I tried being a nice guy, but all it did was turn me into a simp.
you can, like I said, you could be a nice guy, but there are times that you just don't let people run all over you. In my opinion,
I mean, I've been raised on the idea of don't treat people like shit unless they treat you shit, and
yep.
I'm one of the first people that will, like, if I notice someone coming my way or like right behind me when I go through a door, I will keep that door open until everyone goes through it. Then I could just just walk on in or walk on out.
Yeah.
And whether they're men or women, whether they young or old or children,
Yep.
that's just common courtesy there. Yeah, and one time at school, I saw that there was like not really a fight, but a lot of yelling going on in the parking lot. There was like milkshakes or coffee like all over the like all over the lot, and there's like a lot of angry yelling, and I didn't intercede because I didn't want to escalate the situation. Like it didn't come to fighting or anything. It was between a guy and a girl. Like I didn't want to escalate the thing. And when it seemed like it was going down, and the guy and like this girl and like two other people like drove away in their car, I just went up to the woman and asked if she was all right. Like I am one of the nicest guys you ever meet, but if you cross me, I will be the first one that will make you instantly regret it.
Yeah.
I am a nice guy, but I am not a doormat.
Oh, it's a like for me, it's the best way I put it is I will make you regret it, and I'll be crying while I'm doing it because I don't like hurting people. But you brought out the beast. That's the best way I put it. Like, no, I'm not crying because I'm afraid. I'm crying because I don't want to do this to you, and I've been put in that situation. Does that make sense?
I spend my life not trying to start shit, but I do spend it ending shit as soon as possible.
Yep. Well,
because I don't want that stuff to fester and grow.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, you really don't. I have 35 years of repressed anger and aggression, and that's why I've become this way. Because I did always just bottle it up. It's like, no, it's not worth it. I'm better than that. Blah, da, 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 da.
I was going to say, when I was younger, too, it was the same thing. I used to, when I was in high school, I not to sound weird, but I was actually, there was people that actually labeled me like they labeled me like the next serial killer, or I'd be the guy to go in and shoot stuff up because I couldn't learn to let stuff go.
Oh, yeah. No, I had
and a lot of reasons as to why I am is also because of when I was a kid, when you grew up in a dysfunctional family, but you're not allowed to speak out because you're just a kid in the family, and it's like, no, that's how you make a serial killer or a terrorist or just a microcosm of psychological hemorrhaging. You don't do that to the kids, and sadly, I was raised as that, and now that I am an legal and adult now, I let my mouth run as I deem it fit when around my family because I am done bottling it up. I will speak out because I don't care anymore. I have been bottling it up for 18 to 20 plus years now, and now I'm legal adult. I can say whatever I damn well please. And you will have to listen and respect what I have to say about it.
Oh, what? Okay. This is just dumb, but whatever. I don't even know who this is supposed to be. Some random character. Oh, it's supposed to be, okay, this happens to me every year. Basically, apparently, someone they've made quote-unquote internal organs, and it's like, you do realize, I'll just share it. Like,
but like it makes sense what I'm saying, right?
oh yeah, no, it really does. It does, but give me 1 sec. All right.
And if you really love and respect your child, you should allow them to, speak their mind with most situations that's going on with the family. They're a part of it. You can't just make them shut up because they're just a kid.
Oh yeah. So, all right, original, right?
Mm-hmm.
With body organs, even made her neck fat. how does that?
That's not how organs work.
Yeah, it's like it's. She looks like she has internal organs. She looks.
She,
She's
she,
not.
she looks fine.
Yeah, she doesn't look.
She might be a bit on the chubby side, but she's fine. That's not with organs. That's obesity.
Yeah, and that's the thing these individuals are doing. These folks, far left progressives, man, they don't want to fucking. And this is why I look at it. They want to sit there and talk about fat acceptance and things like that. But I hate to break it to them. All they're doing is proving that they don't understand science. Remember when the right was the ones who were the science deniers?
Yeah.
Man, those were the days. You know, the world wasn't crazy. Everything was, you know, you had those on the right who denied science. You had those on the left who were like, y'all are silly, but whatever, we can still be cool. And now we have the left denying the science and saying that I don't care what you say. If you don't agree with our ideology, we're going to throw milkshakes at you and call you just. She looks like Joe Star that disguised himself as a woman.
Okay, you might get a kick out of this. Because I just found that thing.
Found the thing.
Yeah. Look.
I like that. There you go, so everyone can see.
Yep.
People are just trying to make her obese so they can feel better about themselves. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? I'm just saying. Like, I find it ridiculous that we've reached the point where we even have to, like, say this. Like, I missed it. I really do think what's happened is this is why you're seeing.
And I don't know what's up with this exception of making like fantasy characters like super fat because they think they're skinny. These people do realize that a lot of these people are like day in, day out physical activity, burning off carbs and shaping muscles, and in fact, if anything else, they actually do a unhealthy amount of activity day in and day out without rest to the point their bodies might actually give out on them.
Right. And what's this?
Hmm?
What was? Repeat that again. What was the?
Talking about May or Mai from
Overwatch.
From Overwatch. You know, someone complaining about her being, you know, too skinny and make her fucking obese.
She wouldn't survive.
Because that's freaking realistic, apparently. Meanwhile, I'm just like, these people do realize that all these people that they chunk out are in so much, or in stories and situations where they do so much extreme physical activity day in and day out that they would probably be more at risk of their bodies giving out on them because they're in so much physical activity, wearing themselves out.
Yeah, they would completely. Here's the thing: it's a complete antithesis to their whole terminology. When you start exercising and you start working out, your body will automatically start losing weight, and or it will start toning.
All the stored sugars and stuff, and the body fat will be eaten up first, and then it will start sculpting the muscles.
Yep.
And prime example. All right. I just started working Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not being as sedimentary, I think is the right word, as I have been.
Mm-hmm.
I've already lost like 5-6 pounds in just the past, not even a full week, just in being active again.
Mm-hmm.
I was at 200 like Thursday of last week. I'm at less than 195. Like I'm saying around 193, 194. Because we have an old scale, so it's like the dial.
I mean, like, the only people that you see would have any fat on them would be, you know, people who go in for pure strength building because with how their diet works out, that, yeah, there is a lot of fat that stays on, but you can still tell that underneath, you know, the light layer of fat that they have, there's still massive amounts of healthy muscle there.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the thing, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, I one point before I changed like a lot of my eating habits and stuff like that, and also started like moving more and stuff like that. I was at 280. Ever since doing that, like cutting out the sugars and watching what I'm eating, and going on a stricter diet and stuff like that, and big thing was cutting out a lot of sugar. I dropped almost 20 pounds. And so this whole thing about she would be overweight, yes, she might have some body fat on her because of based on however like her.
She's more of a scientist and a fighter.
Right, but not just that, but her bone structure might be different, so she still might have some fat on her. Like when I was a kid, like I still had like a stomach on me all the time. I was at one point at 160, but I still had a tummy on me because based on how my bone structure was. But I wasn't considered fat, like you know what I mean. Like you're still gonna have some sort of body fat. I was like, I think at like 20% body fat, where like the normal guys at that time frame, even though I was 160, I think the average was like 10 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
But I was still like at 20% because, and this is coming from a guy who swam 4 to 5 hours a day. You know what I mean? It's so, yeah. So their whole analogy is bullshit. It wouldn't happen.
Yes, there are some people who are meant to be heavier set. That's just genetics.
Yeah.
That's how they're built. I refer to them as having the natural juggernaut build. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you have guys like me who were not built to have all this extra weight on. And that's why, like I said, unless within not even a full week of just being active again and actually doing shit, not sitting in front of my computer all the time, I drop weight that fast because I'm not built for that. My body can pick it up. And it's like, and I like that the SJWs don't promote body positivity. They promote anti-beauty. There's a huge difference. May from Overwatch is pretty hot, more thick Asians, and exactly, May is thick, not obese.
It's one of the reasons why I say I would never, get into a relationship with someone who says they are body positive, because me being me, I'm not going to go into great details as to why I am this way, but I have a lot of self-loathing issues. I do not take care of myself whatsoever. I'm barely motivated to do that, even though I know I should. And if I were to be in a relationship with somebody, it will have to be with someone who, will help me, want to become better, for myself, and will be there so I will have a motivation to be better and taking care of myself, right? But if I'm with someone who is body positive, they won't do that. They will let me rot to death and do it with a smile on their face, being happy and proud of themselves for allowing it to happen. I do not want that for myself.
It's unhealthy. It's pure unhealthy.
Yeah. It is. Well, and here's the thing. It also, the other thing too is when you surround yourself with people who are, I'll be honest with you, if you surround yourself with people who are not healthy conscience and stuff like that, you're going to have problems. So when you surround yourself with people who are positive, like good eating and stuff like that, I'll tell you what, my sister has really like she's like really been kicking me in the butt, and my ex-girlfriend, that I was dating there for a while. I'm talking in terms of like actually like eating healthy,
Yeah, no, I'm just laughing at what Gordon and I said in the chat.
Okay. What do you?
I remember when he did that on my live stream.
Again, Bob, my jelly rolls bring all the girls together.
Yep.
Yeah, on my freaking tabletop live stream, he just like lifts up his shirt and starts jiggling his belly, talking about his jelly rolls.
No, I said, look at that jelly roll. That's what I said. Because I'm bitching about my weight, and it's why I said I need to get myself back in shape.
Give me 1 second here, guys, real quick.
Okay.
But there we go. I had to reset my alarm. All right. Well, like I said, I got to make sure. Why is it? Oh, okay. Wait, what?
What's going on?
Oh, I'm trying to make sure I have my alarm set right because I have one for. I have my 7:30 one, so I don't want to get rid of that. But I have one for 6 now for tomorrow and Thursday because I'm gonna be at work at 8 in the morning. Like I said earlier, I get to deal with school kids to go see How to Train Your Dragon.
I would love to go Byzantine jelly rolls.
Right.
Hey, guys,
I
I'm
would
gonna
love to go see.
duck out here. Okay,
Okay, you
All right.
yeah, you have a good one, man.
later.
Later. And I think we're gonna go ahead and
All right, but before that, I'd say I would love to go see the new How to Train Your Dragon. I've been wanting to see that for the longest time. That's like the one thing I've been waiting to see for forever.
but the second one was pretty good. Like
The
the first
second
one
one was great.
second one was good. Second one was better, or the first one was good. Second one was better because it expanded on it like it's supposed to, and you feel bad for like
It's like Kung Fu Panda. It just keeps getting better with every edition.
right. And let's be honest, it's sad that as long as they don't make family movies fucking woke, I'll be happy because I enjoy my family movies, my kids' movies and whatnot. Fuck you guys. I don't care how old I am. I was raised on Disney movies and those types of movies, and I will keep enjoying them.
And I actually have to wonder if I'm like the only person who actually liked the TV show they had for How to Train Your Dragon. Writers of Burke. Oh, it was a good show. It was a good TV show. I liked it.
All right, and real quick, the body positive movement is kind of like giving up and complaining someone else should pay for food. Sadly, there's actually a fat activist who said that. I know, right? And let's see, Neostar said, I'm actually quite fit these days. I used to be a runner when I was younger, and I practiced martial arts. Between that and my custodian job, I've lost a lot of weight. Gotta love martial arts, man. Gotta love martial arts. I need to get back into training, so I'm right there with you.
You're a custodian, Neostar? I thought you were a police officer. Now I have to question the validity of your ability to write a Gerizer. I have to question a little bit there, my bro.
Lol. But all right.
Not giving out the authentic experience there.
All right. But yes.
Next thing you're gonna tell me is that you're not also psychic. I mean, come on, let's not be ridiculous here.
Lol. But all right. We do need to call this an end so I can get some food in me and then go to bed.
All right.
So
I could definitely use some more. I could definitely use some more food too because I'm getting kind of hungry again. I didn't eat a whole lot of dinner.
I haven't even ate dinner yet. I think it's been ready, and but I didn't want to, because you know what I mean, because of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
And I am on a limited time, but just to let y'all know, tomorrow night I will have. Give me a sec. I will pop up the name. I will have the dude doing Ruin, #1 song of the Whippoorwills. I think he was a DeviantArt or something like that, or not Deviant, but the Wayward Deviant or something like that.
Been interacting a lot with him on Twitter these days. He's kind of a cool guy.
Oh yeah, but I'll have him on possibly as artist as well if things work out. So
nice.
Yes. So look forward to that. It'll start at 6 Central. So
let me check my email really quick. Done yet? Okay.
And real quick, Toothless Rebirth says Toothless best dragon. Humble Marty said I love the How to Train Your Dragon show, and yes.
How to Train Your Dragon was so good.
Oh, and Gorgonite says, "See you, Bob. Get that warm stuff inside of you."
Let's not make this weird.
It's totally making this weird. Totally making this weird.
It's making this weird.
All right. But all right, guys. We're not gonna do our usual closing pitches because, like I said, I need to get some food in me and then get to bed.
The only thing I would like to mention is that hopefully later this week or next week, I will be having on my channel a live stream interview of another indie tabletop creator for Table Talk, and I'm just waiting on a date from them, a date and time for them for when they want to do it. But that should be it, and then I can begin. After that, I can begin doing my next few lineups for the next few months for my show.
Word. But all right. Like I said, tune in tomorrow for Meeting of the Minds. ANAOT Politics is now going to be Tuesdays at 7. Meeting of the Minds will be Wednesdays at 6. So, yeah, with that, I will catch you folks later.
You all have a beautiful day.